If you're ready.
Okay, yeah. We got the start of episode 27 here, and you can see that there's nobody inside the sanitarium because we wanted to save that to get rabies off of both of our characters here. But we're gonna save the gold because they're gonna get infected with. Actually, no, they're not. I was thinking that they were, but I'm actually gonna use their resolve as a level 4 crew to finish off a very difficult boss fight. So we're getting both of our characters there treated for rabies. And I think one of these characters had a really bad trait that I didn't want to keep.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure one of them did.
Where is it? Resolution, no. Nervous is what I wanted to get rid of. But Jesus Christ, Antiquarian is absolutely ridiculous. Fear of mankind, zoophobia, fear of beasts. I think she got so many negative quirks that one of her negative quirks got exchanged for a new one. But anyways, yeah, I don't have anything that I really need to lock as a positive quirk or anything. Absolutely right now. Like, if we had a Hippocratic Vestal, then yes, I definitely would. But you can see that the thing from the stars roams here this week. Now, if you go on a short quest, you might not encounter it. Medium quest is very likely. On a long quest, it is absolutely 100% going to happen. You are going to run into that thing. So we've equipped our Crusader with double stress healing and health healing trinkets. Even though his HP restore is going to do very little, he's able to exchange with a Vestal should we run into the boss and we need to increase the max HP pool of the Vestal. But the attacks that hit the 4th rank usually don't hit as hard as 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3 generally get hit the hardest, and they get hit pretty evenly. And then there's a steep drop-off for rank 4, as well as the number of attacks that can target. We need to bring damage over time effects in order to counter to this boss, because it will cure itself, but what it does, instead of actually curing itself for real, is it procs all of the damage over time it has on itself all at once. And until then, we're going to be using Inspiring Cry left and right, back and forth, up and down, in order to keep our team's stress as low as possible. Because 2 of our characters are level 2s still, so they have less stress resistance than our veteran characters in the middle. And both of our
literally the idea behind the boss's ability to deal with DOT is to force it to happen all at once and pray that it can take all of that.
It gets like fucking 80% protection. He gets really bad. Yes. And if we kill it, we're going to get some very special quirks on these characters. Things like Twilight Dreamer. Could you imagine a Twilight Dreamer on Dismas? Oh, that would be fucking great. You could also get unique.
What exactly does that quirk do?
You completely ignore stealth. It's on our famous grave robber here in the previous episode. So there is no de-stealthing. She's just an assassin that can go into stealth and murder something while stealthed.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Alright, well...
by the way, hello everybody. I am being an idiot rudely interrupting my co-commentator who's hosting me. But the Alpha Wolf has returned from the XCOM 2 Let's Play we did.
He's just being a nerd. His name is Alistair.
Yeah, but my YouTube handle is Alpha Wolf.
Nerd! No, I'm kidding. Sort of. I'm halfway serious.
But you see, he's taken quite the variety of supplies here. Since this is going to be a really long expedition, he's really going to need all this crap.
I don't need as many torches. Even though it's a long dungeon, both of these characters boost the torch every time they use stuns or stress heals, and this Crusader I use a stress heal more than anything else. Probably not going to need any bandages and whatnot for damage over time. Once we start to get to champion dungeons, no matter where I go, I'm going to take anti-venom and bandages, but for now, not really.
Somebody showed me a really funny mod of this game, where they replace all of the characters with, like, hot-looking anime babes that you can talk to in the hub world. So instead of this creepy asshole over here doing supplies, you actually have a good-looking maiden instead of this guy who clearly has tooth issues and looks like he has more than a few goddamn problems.
I could almost swear his, like, forehead was moving a little bit. But no, it's not moving at all.
I think his artwork does have a slight shifting motion, but only with certain parts of it. And it looks like he himself actually doesn't move at all.
Well, I'm taking 4 shovels, 4 holy
there.
water, and 4 keys. Shovels, holy water, and keys is the mantra of this dungeon area. You will very rarely see things that use medicinal herbs, and there's no anti-venoms and no bandage curios down here. So, and there's no lot on them either. We're gonna save that for when we go to the fucking cove. I hate that place.
Laudanum. That is, historically was an old-style medicine. So you guys may have noticed me running around in the comments section trying to post information on various classes. I overread up on them and ended up getting a lot of their information juggled.
Underread.
No, it wasn't underread. I literally read detailed stuff of every class, and then because I read it all at once, it all got jumbled in my head. Which sometimes happens. I'm sure there are a few gamers out there. I'm sorry.
Feel free to correct the ever-loving shit out of him in the comments and just get into a keyboard warrior. Hey, look, the more insults that they swing at you, the more comments I get, alright? I'm not picky.
I was going to say do it because it's going to make for entertaining commentary in later episodes. You just randomly slogging me for screwing something up. But the antiquarian class, Troy made a very important note in saying that the antiquarian has terrible combat stats. It doesn't actually have a lot of abilities that help it either in combat, really at all, but it does have a lot of abilities that help it survive in combat.
Oh, hell yes!
One of the best abilities... I'm sorry?
We sent Dismas to whip the shit out of himself a couple episodes ago, and as a result, from flagellation, he feels powerful and strong. So for the rest of this quest, he's going to get 20% damage. Yay.
Holy shit.
And that's a thing right there that I can search manually for loot, but I could also end up getting stressed. If I use a holy water on that, it reduces stress by 30. So we're going to come swinging back around for that.
Okay. For anyone wondering, I do have some experience with this game. But even on the easy difficulty, it likes to whip my ass. Get good, scrub. Don't worry, at some point in my life I will. He's opening up with the maximum ownage on that. So, okay, that Arbalest is dead.
Masterfully executed.
No, he resisted it. Masterfully executed it.
Stunned. That's a stun, and it's still did 11 damage. Oh. But the Antiquarian is actually an incredibly good class because a lot of her abilities can help her survive in combat, even though they're not particularly great for dealing damage or, in most cases, actually supporting allies. Probably the most supporting skill that she has allows her to basically point at one of the allies in her squad, buff their defense, and basically use them as a human shield.
She pairs very well with a character
that's kind
like
of a dick move to do.
Who can riposte.
Yes. Now, that's kind of a dick move to do, you might think, but what you also might consider is that because the Antiquarian has really crappy stats in terms of defense and health and doesn't have the best dodge either, damn, he's going crazy on crits. I mean, he's a crit monger class, but still.
No, he's just a fucking damage monger. Highwayman is the highest damage class out of everybody in the entire game. Nobody comes close. No, well,
yeah, and they have so many ways to spread that around.
Depends on the situation. I take it back. take it back, because the fucking leper can one-shot the final boss.
Spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
Actually, if you use the right combination of items, any class can.
Oh, no.
Yes.
The leper is on a whole nother. Alistair, he can deal, like, 400-something fucking crit damage. He's on a different level.
When you use a special, I think it's from the farmstead, it's a glowing blue material.
No.
If you push the Jester stress up to just under 200 with that, she can one-shot the final boss for like 300 to 500 damage.
Oh, you're talking
without
about
even critting.
Give them no quarter.
Oh, that might be something from the arena, maybe.
I think it's a metagame trick that somebody developed, but it prevents you from losing anybody if you don't want to lose somebody to the Heart of Darkness boss. It's like one of the easiest ways in the game to kill it without sacrificing a hero, which is cool, even if it is, exploiting a mechanic a little bit.
I don't think so. I think it's ingenuity.
Well, I very much thought it was good. The Highwayman is so good at killing the shit out of people. Yeah, but the idea behind the Antiquarian, because I know there's at least one player out there who's probably just looking at that class like, why the hell do I even have this thing? It exists to make you money. It can increase the odds of you finding money after every fight, every time you interact with anything that could give you items, and it increases the amount of gold and I think specific gemstone stacks that you can stack together in a single slot at once.
No,
I know it does it for gold. I'm not sure if it does it for gemstones, though.
It does it for gold. The building is what you need for gemstones. Also, why is this dude dodging everything? What is this? Darkest Dungeon Jordan's edition. Again!
I have no goddamn idea. I remember watching the video where your flagellant went crazy dodging, and then you looked at his dodge chance, and his dodge chance was literally 15%, but he dodged like 5 attacks in a row.
That's exactly what I didn't want to happen. That's why I tried to stun the bone guy here.
Yeah.
Oh well.
He's one of the most disgusting enemies to deal with when it comes to dealing stress damage.
No, I was talking about the this guy here, rank 1 bone bulwark, used guard on the madman.
Oops. Yeah. Yeah, that's irritating. Because it's going to force you to have to try and kill him.
And that doesn't deal damage, so. Also, our team has been dodging everything. Again.
Yeah. And I'm going to, again, direct the viewers down to the dodge chance of a lot of our units. Particularly the Plague Doctor here has a 12% dodge. So either that attack has piss-poor accuracy, or these guys are just incredibly freaking lucky. And let me tell you, from experience, that attack doesn't have bad accuracy.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I've had that attack badly stress out one of my parties once. It's not fun. But the Antiquarian, the thing you want to try to do if you want to build a quote-unquote good Antiquarian by a general standard is build an Antiquarian around buffing herself and her allies with the abilities that she has that will do that, and using an ally as a human shield that can also buff that ally's defense who can take it. Great examples of allies that could do that would be the Man-at-Arms, which she wouldn't need to use that on him because he could do that himself. The Crusader, because he's tanky as hell. If you're feeling risky and adventurous, you could try to do that with a Grave Robber, because I believe they actually have good dodge.
They do.
In Radiance, we find victory.
And you really don't, have another good option at the time with the party that you took. Lepers are another good one, because they can self-heal, and they're also fairly tanky despite being damage dealers. Jesus Christ! This asshole does not want to die!
He dodged a gunshot at point-blank range.
Yeah, I know. He moves like they do.
He's moving like the Flatulent does.
Yeah, no shit.
There we go, Bo.
Not good enough to avoid bleed damage, though. He's sitting there trying to stress the shit out of the team, and he only barely succeeded.
As the fiend
Yep, there he goes. Asshole.
blossoms.
Nothing works on this, not even a shovel, but, you know, since I got an extra key, I might as well. Just for the audience.
Oh, that doesn't work.
I'm going to touch it just because I can, and I'm going to touch it with the Plague Doctor.
Shit.
And as you can see, fear, when his HP is below
Excuse me.
a certain amount.
Okay.
That's okay, though. I think the thing from the stars is going to be around here, though, so... Hold on. Let me go out.
But, yeah, that's generally what you want to try to do with the Antiquarian, is make them dodge, or force an ally to tank for them. But the Crusader, the Men-at-Arms, Bounty Hunter is actually a decent option, even though it's not the best. And the Leper... I think even the Abomination can make a half-decent tank guard for her.
I'm gonna...
But the Abomination's closer to a tactical berserker.
I'm gonna use the cure to get rid of disease. And that's the specialty of the Doctor. Getting rid of disease. Ha ha ha.
Yep.
Alright, time for a prayer to buff everybody's protection. The Crusader gets 15% since he's religious. We're going to prevent the nighttime ambush and try to increase our chances of surprising the enemy. Yeah.
That's another thing to note about the Vestal. If you've been watching these videos up to this point, you will easily know, particularly if you're a veteran of this game series, because Darkest Dungeon 2 is in development, and it has been proven.
Where's the stress healing? There you go.
I'm sorry?
I was looking for the stress healing scroll so I could use encouragement, the enhanced version.
Oh, okay. The Vestal is easily the strongest healer out of literally every single class in the game. It has a couple of techniques for stunning enemies and trying to damage them from the back, while also boosting Torchlight in order to try and keep that from going down during a battle.
The way is lit.
The
path is clear.
Biggest negative is that it is almost useless in the front row.
I knew that motherfucker was going to be around here.
Moves.
Alright, so we've got it. We've explained a lot of this stuff in previous videos, so we don't need to do it too many times. Otherwise, it's going to be like rambling shit. But talk about your life, talk about Halo or something.
I've been considering doing a Halo LP at some point.
Okay.
Halo has easily been one of my most beloved franchises. Pretty hard.
So, as you can see right now, it doesn't have any protection, but as his HP gets lower, he's going to get fucking more angry.
So, basically, this guy has no defense, but is a berserker of the worst kind, because the lower his health gets, the worse it gets for him to be able to deal with it by dealing damage. Is that more or less what that means?
Yes. Also, Sky Taint. Ouch.
I can see why you brought the Plague Doctor.
6 damage per round for 3 rounds.
That is brutal.
And we've just negated all of that.
Stress maneuver. Oh, it can stun. That's adorable.
Yeah, and it has 105% stun resistance, so it's very high stun resistance.
Yeah, no shit. It's very susceptible to bleed, though.
And blight. It's susceptible so much to bleed right now because he's got a debuff.
Oh, I see. It seems to have average resistances versus bleed and light.
You see how it said cured and it just lost a massive chunk of HP? And
yes.
Look, 80% protection if below 45% health, 6 speed, 40% damage, and 13% crit.
Yeah, so once his health gets below just under the halfway threshold, he's going to start really being a pain in the ass. So the easiest part of this fight is the startup.
Yes.
gonna go ahead and blight him and poison and weed him.
Don't you fucking dare!
I'm going to assume that shard on the ground explodes.
Yes, it does, just like in the farmstead. And also, that's why I said, don't you fucking dare! Because, the minus 25% damage now means that there's a slight chance that this crystalline aberration will survive. I don't want that, though.
Execute.
Okay, good.
That's okay. That slight chance did not turn into a guarantee. Ew. Oh.
This is meant to be a boss. It's going to hurt.
Yeah. Jesus. This guy's a real pain in the dick.
Another one falls.
The Plague Doctor is going to be our star player against this thing. She's practically immune to disease right now because his campfire buff increased her disease resistance. I brought a special book with her that increases her max health and disease resistance. And she can
Her blight resistance is practically immune too.
No, it's not fully immune because if you look at resistances in Darkest Dungeon, you'll see 120% base.
Yeah.
And it's straight up math, as plus and minus math. There's no multiplicative nature
Yes.
here.
It does some mathematics with resistances versus the efficiency of certain moves and monsters, I think, versus, you know, your overall resistances and shit. So it's a little more complicated than it initially looks. Warples.
Ooh!
Oh my god!
Body and brain.
That is why I wanted
Shit.
higher max HP.
Wow, he missed her. Oh, wow.
I wonder if this can do 2 damage. Oh, it does 2 damage. And Blight is damn near guaranteed. Alright. I'll go for it.
A singular strike.
For 3. Gross. Resisted. Ugh. Damn.
Grievous.
Ugh.
Palpably
Oh, wow.
clear.
He ate that surprisingly well.
Decisive pummeling.
Take that.
And there it goes. This is doing an amazing job of showing just how good the Crusader is at tanking bullshit. Oh my god, you're doing almost nothing to him.
Because he's got 80% damage reduction.
Oh, that's insane. He's getting really stressed out. The Hopeless Quark?
There can be no hope
No,
in
that's
this
not a quirk. That's an affliction.
Oh.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
Oh, jeez. Okay, that didn't do that much. And no blight.
I was thinking about group heal. Nah, he's got 27, 25, 25.
You might want to do a group heal,
No.
but she was also very badly wounded.
No, you need to consider the amount of critical damage he can do, not all of that other
Yes.
garbage.
Yes, that's what I was mentioning and trying to say.
So 18 damage and self-stress reduction.
The match is struck.
Oh.
A blazing star is born.
Jeez. That doesn't seem to do any physical damage.
No, it doesn't. It's just group stress. And it's a free action.
Which is a crock of shit. But whatever.
Nah, do group heal.
What the hell?
An afflicted
He
character.
literally rejected the group heal.
Yes, afflicted characters do not behave normally.
How quickly the tide turns.
God. Wow, this guy's doing a wonderful job of just being a straight-up douchebag. Did he just skip his own turn?
Yes, he did.
Oh my god. And he dodged. At least he did something useful.
We'll be fine. Boss is dead.
The boss is dead?
Well, not yet, but he's definitely dead. Unless he gets a critical hit, he doesn't have the capacity to kill us right now.
Okay.
He can push our stress as high as he wants to, but he's not going to kill us.
It looks like that's what he's trying to do right now.
I mean, he could try and make the Crusader get a heart attack, but...
The odds of that at this point are a little unlikely.
Considering that he's only got 31 HP left and he's going to take a lot of damage over time from us, yeah, definitely. I wonder if the Vestal can destroy it. Oh no, that's the chances of that are... Oh, well, you know, if he does destroy it, then...
It's either that or you do another group heal that's mostly not going to help.
Well, if she managed to destroy him, we would have been able to do two strikes on that enemy.
Yes. This is right about now where you might kind of wish you had Grape Shot.
Not really, because Grape Shot doesn't deal damage over time. And he'd have 80% protection versus that. So that would be like, what, fucking... 1 damage? 2 damages, it would be a dream. Fucking Grape Shot. That'd be a critical hit.
Fair enough. Oh my god. That is such crap.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the
He takes 2 actions per turn.
Yeah, I know. That's really aggravating. Especially considering when he does that. And makes you waste an action every round.
mortality.
Killing a free-spawned mine. Oh, Jesus.
So he's
What
just
are you doing?
forced himself to move forward.
You idiot.
Actually, nah. I'm just gonna reduce the Vestal stress so she doesn't get an affliction from the next round when he does this attack.
You missed her with it. That must not have great accuracy. Because it actually misses at least 2 or 3 of the people.
It hits everyone, but it hits everyone guaranteed, but it's only a chance of it proccing.
Actually stressing anybody out.
Yeah.
He should die after this.
Damn.
Oh, that's aggravating as fuck. Now she's gonna stress out her own teammates. Oh, that ain't good.
Or slap them for damage.
Yeah, which is even worse. Can I just say that?
I'm gonna just go for it.
Yeah.
The boss will die. And I don't want him to take another action.
He's dead. And his shard dies automatically. That's very useful.
Alright.
Ugh.
So, this is where we go back and fucking camp again. I told you. Nothing for it. It was easy. Alright?
Yeah,
wasn't even hard.
easy.
Not even
Easy.
close. What are you talking about? That wasn't even close, alright?
You almost fucking died.
How
Many times?
I was caught 0. 0.
Don't give me that 0 bullshit. This man nearly dies from stress. And after he gets a quirk that makes him do incredibly stupid shit for like half and half fight. And you tell me he didn't almost die even once?
No, he didn't. He did not hit death's door. If he would have got 200 stress, all that would have happened is he had a heart attack. That's it.
Which would have killed him.
No.
Yes.
By the way, he just reduced his own stress button. The fat ass chunk of 58, by the way.
Saw that. Holy shit.
It's because this prevents the ambush at nighttime, and it reduces his stress by 25. But if he's afflicted, it gives an additional 15, so it's minus 40 stress. Add the 25% and 20% here for stress healing skills, and you got 58 reduction in stress.
Incredibly high.
Now, if anybody would have hit death's door, we could have healed them for half their HP and removed 25 stress, but nobody did. So the battle wasn't even close. So I don't want to hear it anymore, Alistair.
No. You're still gonna hear it.
Also, didn't get a disease. Oh yeah, Sky Taint, plus 20% stress, blight and bleed resist. So let's try to remove that with the Plague Doctor. He might go like, "We are the knights who say knee," and just fucking decline it, and waste the time.
If you're gonna say it right.
We are the knights who say knee.
We are now the knights who say ah. That's literally what they do later in that same movie.
I love that movie. Movies by, what is it called? I forget.
Monty Python.
Monty Python. This would be a great time for gallows humor, but too bad.
The movie that he is specifically referencing in that, folks, for anyone who might not know, is Monty Python and the Holy Grail, which is one of my favorite comedies of all time.
Zealous speech. Let's. Did I re-equip his thing? Let's do it. He might waste this time, but yes, everybody accepted it.
Yes.
All right, we ready.
Oh my god.
Yes, I married once, but she is dead now.
Oh my god.
Backstory on the Crusades, he did have a wife and children.
Oh, yeah.
And he left them to be part of the... son of a fucking bitch.
Ambushed by foul invention.
Shut up, Wayne.
It's gonna make you sad later when you find out what happened to him.
He left her to be part of the noble crusade. In the name of God! In the name of God! Son of a bitch!
God damn!
Traps.
You're getting shanked everywhere. All that damn stress you got rid of.
He just says, I give up.
He's just like, God fucking damn it. Lock display
I'm gonna
cabinet.
open it with her because abusive characters tend to say something whenever you open shit. But hopeless characters, they don't say anything.
Finding the stuff is only the first test.
Okay.
Now it must be carried home.
People stressing yourselves out.
Why are there no battles? Okay, here we go.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why isn't there shit in there?
Watch it be the fucking collector. Okay, good.
Okay, it's not the collector. I'm now going to shrift you for fucking that up.
Ah!
Oh.
Double crit heal.
That was amazing. That was actually an amazingly good move.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that's kind of the best thing about the Highwayman. He does shitloads of damage, and it really doesn't matter too much where the fuck he is. He typically has a move or two that allows him to do horrible, horrible things to his enemies. If it's not shanking people, it's shooting them. And he's good at it no matter what.
You need to reduce a character's stress completely down to 0 if you want them to not have an affliction.
Yeah. Oh my god. Punch that healer in the fucking face.
Nah, we need our health full.
Of course we need her help. That doesn't mean we gotta tolerate her being an asswipe. Damn, I love his skills. She just stressed him out for doing his job.
That's how people online act all the time. What are you talking about?
Find this a problem?
No. It's perfectly normal. These guys are a functioning team. Just look on any For Honor Reddit post and you'll see exactly what's going on here. Your silence tells me that you agree, foolhardily.
Troy?
What?
You missed me breaking down laughing at that, actually. I think my mic somehow muted itself for a moment. Oh, Jesus. If that's a functioning For Honor team, forget me ever playing it.
Precision and power.
There we go. Get those critical hits.
I remember the days when we actually fucked around on PvP in Lost Planet 2. That was some of my favorite times. God, I miss that. Good game. That's some of the best multiplayer I've ever seen.
Yeah, that game's fell on some pretty hard times.
Well, the game lasts forever.
Alright, yeah. But I loved it. Before they nerfed the shit out of the Raider unnecessarily.
Success.
They nerfed the Raider so hard that now he doesn't really have anything left that's part of his identity.
You talking about For Honor or Lost Planet?
For Honor.
Okay. Because I was talking about Lost Planet there for a minute.
Oh. You kind of switched.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that they've nerfed several classes, but the game is, in For Honor's case, the game is actually still very unbalanced.
It's gotten better, though.
It's gotten better over time. Like, there are other instances where it's actually gotten really worse. But for the most part, it's been, like, to a degree, it's been improving. The big... see, right about here is where you cut to her entire team turning around and looking at her and going, "Now we're ashamed to be in your presence."
And then she... This is why the Highwayman is ridiculous. Oh, okay, I was about to say, he's gonna kill him, isn't he?
Shit. Yeah, the Highwayman can be really good just because he's so good at that right there. That's what makes him overpowered.
And that enemy was under stealth.
Yeah.
But
and he still shit-shanked his ass.
The man-at-arms can do this.
Okay. Somebody punch the fucking Crusader.
Now, you may be wondering why I'm not reducing her stress. Is because I'm trying to get his to 0 to completely remove his affliction.
It's hopeless. You sure you don't want to remove hers? Because he just killed somebody and she was like, yeah, fuck you didn't do it good enough.
That's because if you reduce somebody's stress to 0, the affliction is gone, but just simply reducing it does nothing.
Yeah, I know. At this point, you've been working really hard on his stress anyway.
Where's this? Oh, gold. Alright, well, fuck it. Get rid of this bandage. I'm not gonna need it. Then I come across the Shambler's altar, and I'm just like...
You just walk into, like, 6 rabid dogs, only instead of rabies, they all just inflict bleed.
I'd be cool with that. I don't want any more fucking rabies. I've already had to cure, like, multiple diseases. And this son of a bitch, for some reason, him howling can give you a disease called the worries, plus 30% stress.
Can you explain that to me? How does that work?
You get really worried.
Switching maggots.
Was that good enough for you, Alistair?
No, that wasn't a good enough explanation, by the way. That's not a disease, that's a mental state. And I've known people who have it. And they're not particularly fun people.
The worries.
Seth was not a particularly fun person when he had that problem.
Blurred vision.
Or you gotta bash Seth. You're gonna bash Seth in the name of God.
No, I'm not gonna bash him in the name of God. I let him bash other people in the name of God. Everybody has their really bad moments, and I'm just gonna say, so that people have context for what the fuck I'm talking about. Oh, Jesus. He basically went through this time in his life where he was suffering from really, really severe anxiety attacks. And I basically class that as the worries because that's more or less literally what that is. You suffer from such severe mental worry that it can physically debilitate you. And I've nearly had it myself. I've dealt with a lot of bouts of anxiety, and it is one of the most unfun mental states in the universe, and I feel bad for anybody who has it. But
he just did a random action.
Hard enough. Yeah, and it basically caused him to, because he almost choked to death on a piece of bread one time. Yeah, I know. People will be like, well, how the hell do you choke on bread? Dude, it's not that hard to choke to death on bread if you're not thinking too clearly when you swallow your food. And most people don't really think very hard about how they swallow their food.
You can choke to death on your own spit.
Yes, you can. More evidence as to why this isn't something that is as funny as a lot of people like to think it is. But he tried to go on an all-liquid diet right after that due to fear. That pretty much failed immediately because he very quickly discovered that you sure you don't want to just give that last lap food to a couple of people even though they don't need to heal just so they can reduce stress maybe?
No, you can't eat it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you could, but they're all full health.
Yeah, but would it reduce their stress at all?
No.
Okay.
Only during campfire meals.
Use the abusive character.
Oh, shit.
Never mind. He chose not to say anything.
Supplies.
Watch, she says something after we're done with it.
Yeah, watch her make me look like a schmuck just for the sake of it.
It's like that one person who's always just sitting there just ready to say some shit. And
that is a really good trinket.
If he's below 40% life, well, I mean...
Actually, that's not necessarily the best.
Yeah, because if you think about it, I guess that it would help resist being bleeded and stuff in the first place, but remember, we've got that bloodied fetish, and we've also got this garlic right here.
Yeah, I was going to say, typically when you bring the flagellant, you put that garlic on him, which does all of that without that problem of needing him to be near death.
Well, it's more of like something that kicks in when you need it, because if you get smacked by a critical hit, then the bleed and blight are rolled afterwards.
Yes.
So
it's not like that thing is devoid of merit, but the fortifying garlic is way better.
Yeah, this is something that would help him survive crits because of the max HP boost. So that's actually as good as you thought it was before. Just not the way that you think. The trinkets like that, people always have the problem of wanting to fire on all pistons at all times. That's not how characters and things work. Not how your body works in real life either. You get that adrenaline rush, that second wind that just kind of boosts you.
And typically gives you the strength you need to push through a problem. The big thing that a lot of people really need to understand about games like this, and particularly Dark Souls, is that if you are going to play it, you need to understand that your characters are not going to fire on all pistons at all times, ever. That really just doesn't happen here.
They might.
Because stress health, you bitch. And
Stress health, you bitch!
Great example right there. Stress health and physical health are both conditions. And they're conditions you will have to manage very heavily. So that means you will often have to choose between having full health and a lot of stress. And trying to favor the former in this game gets a lot of people killed.
Get your ankles broken, fat boy. Now, this bone spearman, if I had disorientating blast, which I probably should. I've been using the kit to fight the other guy. I should change back to Wicked Slice because there's not a lot of skeletons are... They're not gonna bleed. Unless you kill them.
No, they don't.
Then the corpse will bleed for some weird-ass reason.
Which, I was gonna say, that's bizarre considering their corpse would basically be a pile of bloodless bones, but figure that out. Maybe it bleeds the marrow. Who knows? Oh my god. He does something wrong, you bitch him out. He does something right, you bitch him out. No one can be okay with you. That's all.
That's why he's missing. She's debuffing him.
She just keeps beating the shit out of him. And making it harder for him to hit and expect to do his work. Just like the worst fucking boss you ever had in retail.
It's like a GameStop manager.
Shit. Troy. It's a good one.
I only need about 3 more turns with my Crusader and his affliction is removed. Damn it!
Jesus!
I guess that having less damage is actually helping me out a little bit. Considering this, that I'm able to stall the battles for quite a bit longer. Like this big fat skeleton dude, he's not gonna kill us.
He's really not that difficult to deal with.
Which makes me think maybe I should just kind of try and stall out. Instead of using my acid to just slaughter this guy, maybe we could just kind of,
Slowly.
Yeah, maybe, because that spearman is straight up fucking dead now. Yep.
Alistair, your microphone's cutting in and out, by the way.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, Halo is a franchise. I just kind of want to bring that conversation topic from like 40 minutes ago back in, confuse a whole bunch of people while I talk about how I really have considered doing an LP of that game. So much so to the point that I have... Oh, wow! Watches Highwayman get ass beat. Exposes Highwayman to more problems. What a freaking dick. She just keeps stressing his ass out. She hates him.
Yeah, because abusive characters, they tend to target one character and they'll go in on them.
Fucking Dismond is probably just a hair's breadth away from stabbing her.
Okay.
Oh my god.
They're not within 20 stress. One more and Reynald's affliction is gone.
Shit. Well, okay. No stress damage.
Only if they get a critical. You know,
You're intentionally targeting Bleed so that he doesn't die.
well,
Okay.
he's a champion though, so we can't stall against him. It's not possible. We can go for as many turns as we want. He's gonna hurt, and he might get a couple of crits in on us, but he's not gonna kill us. He's not gonna have any surprise DPS out of somewhere.
I swear, Dismas really wants to stab that Vestal at this point. She's just... She just took him out of... And he just did it to himself. You
I'm surprised he hasn't critted. He's hit the whole group like a couple of times now.
And hate your Crusader right now.
That was just enough. Alright. The affliction is
Thank
gone.
God. Okay. We're done with him being a hopeless deathmonger. Now let's get rid of the abusive she-bitch.
The abusive she-bitch.
Highwayman quietly sharpens knife.
That would be some shit that he would do. Boy, oh boy.
He's murdered innocents before. Although he really, really hates himself.
Do I really want to get rid of the holy water? Nah. We have the knights who say nee.
That is some lore that I guess we could bring up.
What?
The highwayman actually... The reason why he came here at all is canonically in the lore of the game, according to some comics that were created, actually states the reason why he wants to change his life around is because he fired into a carriage he was robbing on instinct because he thought somebody was armed in there when he heard noise. A woman fell out and died and had no weapon, bleeding from the chest from the gun wound. And her child was in her arms, dead from the gunshot. He killed them both. And it broke his soul. Like, this man could not hate himself any more than he does.
Ouch. Also,
Yeah.
I'm gonna chug both of these holy. I'm gonna keep these holy waters. It's a tough choice to
just use them on somebody and then.
No.
Okay.
I need them for curios.
All right.
You remember that that confession booth that we left behind?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and use it now.
Oh. And he gets a free stress relief
for disarming the trap.
Getting a lot less hunger checks here than you did in that other area. Okay, so holy water on a confessions booth. Wow. Okay. I'm a huge fan of that now.
Uh-huh.
This is also kind of what causes a game like this to be really frustrating, I guess, for a lot of people.
You don't have to. There can be random positive effects, too. Like gaining a positive quirk and whatnot.
Well, no, this is what I mean. I don't think you quite understood what I was getting at. You kind of have to play fifth dimensional chess to a degree with this game in order to really get the ideal amount of whatever you're looking for out of it.
They actually tell you at the beginning of the game to experiment. Like, if you use one, that's why the first time you play through the game, you're not playing it on Bloodmoon difficulty. And second of all, your first time playing through the game, they tell you a warning in the tutorial. And I quote, "Pay now with gold, later with blood." So, they tell you to bring an extra amount of, like, curios, and it marks it on the curio if it has worked before in a previous playthrough of the game. So,
yes.
Other than the very, very first time learning the curios, you're good.
Yes, but the main point that I was getting at is you sometimes have to play fifth dimensional chess in this game in the instance of you have to look at the area and the stuff around you to determine, do I want to use this now? Do I want to use this later? Do I want to bother with it at all?
I mean, that does sound kind of reasonable, like you genuinely would consider that, right?
To a degree, in almost any game, you really should. But that means a hellaciously larger amount of import in this game. Oh my god!
Yo, he got
Woman, leave him
fucking
alone!
triple kill this round.
Victory nonetheless.
Yeah, he fucking killed 3 people, and then she was like, no, fuck you, you're still a piece of shit. And stressed him out.
This must be a fucking League of Legends healer. One of those e-girl
Even
streamers.
the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
I'm getting fewer hunger checks, Alistair, because there's more events in the hallways that I'm walking through. Before, I was walking through a shit ton of...
Wealth beyond measure. Awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
empty hallways.
Oh my god. Oh, that killed me.
Son of a bitch! Oh, yes, thank you. We dodged it.
Okay, yeah, he dodged that one. Oh my god. Fucking League of Legends Scream Emo Healer.
Hey, there's no stress enemies here.
I've also been considering doing an LP of Neo or Neo 2. Because, believe it or not, I actually have an almost cohesive way to play that particular Souls-like. That works reasonably well in almost any situation. But what's kind of stopping me is there are certain bosses that I'm really worried are going to annoy the shit out of me. And people will hear my suffering in way more ways than one.
The demonic screeching and howling playthrough of Alistair.
Yeah. That's kind of what it would turn into. With certain enemies, let me tell you. Damn.
This is on an enemy with 70% protection. This shows you just how hard the Highwayman hits. That was 70% reduced damage, and they still hit for 15.
Yeah, imagine if there had been no protection on that enemy, he would have outright killed him. Woman, stop crucifying the two people that are keeping you alive.
No, finish it with the first one you were gonna say.
I was gonna say, stop crusading the Crusader when he's trying to do his job a lot better than you are right now.
Notice she hasn't said anything really to the Plague Doctor.
She's just occasionally said something more or less to the group in general, but never directly to the only other person in the party that really heals. I think it's because she's really afraid that if she does, that Plague Doctor's gonna slip some plague in her drink. Plague Doctor is one of my favorite characters for aesthetic. Like, I really love her art design. Damn.
Cannot be left unanswered.
That hurt.
In short, Wayne just said, do not let him disrespect you like that.
Proceeds to unleash the Wayne Brady bitch slap. Yeah.
I'm trying to do party heals and fish for some crit heals. Alistair, if you just spoke, I didn't hear a word you just said. You're gonna have to fix your microphone, Alistair.
Yeah, I'm trying. It's a touchy process. This is a really good headset too. I guess I'm gonna have to order a replacement again at some point.
Maybe. I'm trying to fish for crits.
I don't blame you. You've actually gotten several critical heals from the Plague Doctor. It's just her battlefield medicine is not that strong.
Yeah. Well, not that strong for healing, but it straight up prevented a fat chunk of 18 damage.
It's great for preventative measures.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely
When it comes to DOT,
of the light?
it's just not the best for, like, raw healing.
No. Not in the slightest.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of
I'm not gonna drink that.
worldly corruption.
Yeah, no. Only people who've been afflicted with the Crimson Curse need that. And these guys have not.
Glittering gold.
Rubies.
Paid for.
Look at those
Red
rubies.
like blazing lust. Greases palms, builds empires, and instigates murder. Alistair's laughing so hard that his microphone malfunctioned. Again!
Yeah. I love how dark this game is sometimes. Even though this game is absurdly cruel. And you can argue that it's not all you want, I won't believe you.
It's absurdly cruel when it comes to these motherfuckers with Jordans always dodging my shit. The Bone Courtier, he's sitting there doing the fucking Snoop Dogg dance back and forth. Every time he goes forward, he spills wine on you.
See, what makes him a pain in the dick is that his dodge is literally only 1 in 5. But, man, that guy can stress the shit out of you.
No, actually, dodge directly subtracts from accuracy. So hers is 95 accuracy, and he's got 21 dodge, and that equals...
So that drops it to 74.
No, hero to hit on the right.
Oh, 69. Oh, wow.
I got you to say it, Alistair.
Troy, are you trying to make me have a sex joke marathon here? Because I can do that.
You said it!
But I don't think you'll like
it. He said it.
Damn it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I uttered the yoke.
No. No.
See, cross. Do you know how to make a Nazi cross?
How?
It's corn.
It's corn. What?
It's tread on his corn. Stomps on Nazi boot heel.
What?
It's a Monty Python joke. There's this guy pretending to be a soldier in one scene, getting interrogated by a Nazi, and the Nazi is at the time played by John Cleese, one of the greatest comedians who have ever lived. What he does is he's being interrogated for a murderous joke. The guard wants him to tell him the murderous joke, and he won't tell it to him. And so he asks the Nazi, "How do you make a Nazi cross?" And then he goes, "How do you make a Nazi?" And then he goes, "Tread on his corn," and he stomps on the Nazi's toes.
I thought this was like when you told me that really bad TV show or something a while ago, and you were talking about there being some sort of joke that's supposed to be so funny that it kills Nazis or something, and the joke ended up being some really dumb shit like the Nazis lose the war.
That's not it. What happens in this entire sketch that is a scene from is literally this guy writes a joke that is so funny you die laughing.
Compassion is a
it literally makes you laugh yourself to death because it's that funny. And wow, that guy has the worst aim ever.
He fired at a whole room of people, didn't hit anybody. And
yeah, it's rare to see
something.
See, his friend just showed him how it was done because his friend hit everybody, and even debuffed a couple people. But happens is the U.S. military, excuse me, or the Allied nations military during World War II weaponizes the joke and has a bunch of scientists working in joke-proof conditions, translating individual words of the joke. One scientist saw 2 words of the joke and spent several weeks in the hospital.
It's like some SCP Foundation shit.
Yeah. Damn it, I cannot get this thing to work very well. But the idea is that they basically translated the joke into German and then taught these men how to say it in German, but not what they were saying meant. So you had a whole bunch of Allied soldiers running around with a paper in their hand, getting shot at and blasted at with the bombs and shit. And they're sitting there making the joke in German. And it causes all of these Nazis to come out of the woodwork, laughing their asses off and falling over dead.
What the fuck?
Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
It's one of the funniest things that they ever came up with. And then at the end of the sketch, they were literally like, in 1945, peace broke out. It was the end of the joke. Joke warfare was banned in a special session of the Geneva Convention. And the joke was laid to rest here, never to be told again. Was literally the end of that sketch.
Do I riposte and hope that they attack? Nah, I'm just gonna pistol shot.
Yeah, if I were you, I would focus on the back row.
I was gonna riposte
them.
because both of these stress attacks deal damage, and should they, be struck and he riposts to kill them, the damage, the stress damage won't go through because the exchange doesn't occur. Because status effects happen after the zoom happens. Like, they attack each other, they exchange damage. Then when it zooms back out, now you roll status effects. But if the enemy is dead, that doesn't happen. This doesn't count though if they crit your face though.
Never hidden.
That might have been a really good idea because it would have given him a chance to totally kill both of them off before they could stress anybody.
Nah, that's fine. Our plague doctor got Jordan's on.
The Stall's finally figured out that she doesn't hate Dismas, and Dismas has finally decided that he might not want to stab her after all.
Feeling about to break.
You better not fucking crit, you boneheaded bastard. Okay, good.
He failed anything at all.
Both of the back row is dead now. 5 damage, 5 HP. 5 damage, 1 HP. They're both dead. I still haven't swapped out for Wicked Slice, but that's fine. We can get away with it on Veteran, and plus we were trying to abuse the lower damage to stall without enemies getting reinforcements.
Never hidden.
Yeah.
That's what happens if you stall for too long, they get reinforcements.
At this point, all you really want to do is lower the stress on the plague doctor and the highwaymen.
Well, next turn,
Damn.
one of them is probably going to get some stress relief. Yeah, go ahead. Miss. Curly-headed fuck. With those tiny little hairs on his head.
You bold fucker. You bald fucker.
It sounds like that's
Resist.
supposed to be from a movie or something.
No, it's not. I mean, I could make even more weird and obtuse movie references if you want.
You could. When the time is right. That was a movie quote. Die.
Use that. How many goddamn movies use that quote, though?
Remind yourself
Every single one where something is supposed to happen.
Killer.
Yes. Particularly at an appointed time. Which is almost any film in the universe that involves any form of drama whatsoever. Be it violent or otherwise.
Man. So sad I didn't bring an antiquarian on these long dungeons.
Yeah, no kidding. An antiquarian would have been super helpful here, because look at all the money you would have.
Oh, yes.
Oh. Yes. Yes. The damage. The damage, Troy.
Meanwhile, we're still using fucking open vein.
I still think it's funny that... Oh my god. That, you can blight skeletons.
It's less like it's a poison and it's more like it's an acid. It's literally melting the bones.
Yeah, that seems to be the general consensus of everybody who gets afflicted with it.
Because you can hear, like, the sizzling burn. You can also hear the sizzling burn of him using his new fucking Air Force Ones to dodge lightning.
Dodging lightning with the Air Force One. Is Harrison Ford involved in this? Because if he was, that would be awesome.
He could be.
Since I literally just referenced a movie where Harrison Ford was in fact the president. And basically told all the terrorists in the world, guess what, motherfuckers, I'm about to go on a killing spree. And you guys are who I'm going to murder. I would have laughed if that caused him to bleed and then die immediately on his next turn.
He has 220% bleed resist.
That doesn't mean that wouldn't have been funny.
Push on to the tasks.
I'm saving this last holy water in case we run into an eldritch altar, which can remove a negative quirk. Skeleton key if we run into a secret chest room that we scout out. And the shovels, just in case we run into a blockage. Which, I think there was one earlier, but I can't remember. So I basically need all these, and I'm not getting rid of these comet shards. We worked too fucking hard to get this shit.
Yeah, no, those comet shards are... You almost died how many times for that shit?
0.
About 4 or 5.
0.
Everyone go back, watch the part of the video where he involved that boss fight, and tell him everywhere he's wrong.
All you guys tell him how wrong he is about me almost dying in the comments.
God damn it. You did get somebody killed in the farmstead.
They were weak.
Once. They were weak.
They were weak.
You really are an asshole to your heroes.
No, I'm not. I'm just honest.
No, you're an asshole. And you're honest.
We have use of sterner stock around here. We don't need weaklings. We don't have space for that crap.
Oh my god.
Also, I think that character got, like, double critted, then died to blight or some shit like that.
No, I watched it. She got critted once.
She died to blight.
Then wailed on by a couple of people, put to death's door, and got killed by blight damage.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
So she got dogpiled and then since her speed was higher than the Vestal, she ended up rolling to go before her and died from blight.
Yeah, you were about ready to call it quits at that instance anyway, which, like, she was just more or less the straw that broke the camel's back in that case.
That was a lot of straws that broke her back then.
I mean, she got brutalized, so yeah. Like, that was really a fucked sequence. I saw that shit.
By the way, that's the difference.
I go back...
Go ahead.
Like, I'm just going to go ahead, sorry, and refresh everybody real quick on what I do here. On occasion, I will co-commentate whenever I can, when work and family time provides me the opportunity to do so. By not, you know, getting in the way. But I also tend to do a lot of video quality checks, which is how I started going back and double-checking my work with a more thorough eye and noticed that, you know, the audio was actually badly warped in one of our earliest videos. But there really wasn't a whole lot we could do about that now. And even if I had noticed it, it would have forced him to do a cold restart of the entire campaign. If we wanted to completely remove that and replace it with something that was viable that would show you everything that went on without you having to see it. Which, really, as it turns out, was not necessary. And still, you know, you could more or less determine everything that was going on watching it if you paid attention. I still think that when I did the quality check for the Bounty Hunter video, that had to be one of the funniest damn things I've ever seen in my life, because that asshole just killed everything quickly that you were trying to kill slowly.
I was trying to make a plan for a tactical takedown and completely undermine the enemy's abilities so they can't fight back, and the bounty hunter's just like, just fucking kill him, Snort. What the hell is wrong with you, man?
Yeah, like, the bounty hunter looked at your tactical plan and was like, why the fuck would I do anything like this when it takes this long? When you could just swing an axe at it and it will die. And then he made it happen. And then you were like, damn.
Alright, after this, I think I might get rid of the shovels and maybe some of the torches to make room.
Right. I mean, at this point, there's not really a whole lot of point in holding on to them.
No, curios for the shovels and stuff.
Yeah. But after this dungeon ends, I'm gonna have to go.
Alright.
But I did want to at least stick around, even for the long haul, because this did give me some time to talk about potential LPs and my thought processes that might not be quite as mind-numbingly frustrating. I do not think that I want to do a legendary LP of Halo, because legendary difficulty, you can get farted on and die. It's literally that easy. And in a game that basically plays at a mile a minute, what that means is that you can more or less make it through with effective strategy, but at the same time, there will be several combat sequences that are very, particularly with how I was experimenting in normal mode on a lot of different things. Luck is what saves you, not skill or thought. And I know I said that a lot about XCOM, and to a degree it was actually true with XCOM. It wasn't as true by a large degree as I had thought, but there are instances where it really is. In Halo, particularly as the series goes along, it really does get, on Legendary, really, really hard to survive in any way that is guaranteed. And damn. Wow, that hurt.
He'll be okay.
Yeah, he's durable as fuck. I mean, he can take it, but damn.
He gets critted 3 more times, and he's on death's door. Alistair, you're like, you're gonna die! And I'm saying, he's fine. I've got a plan.
His heart attack. And then you're just like, fuck. And I'm like, see?
Heart attack is his stress heal.
That's right, actually. It, like, stress heal mechanic fails for no reason, and then he just dies. Well, he's dead. Well, he's dead.
Yeah, I set up lethal blight damage.
Yeah, by the time the enemy thought to protect those guys, it was way too late. Man, the Plague Doctor has such fucking utility in this game. The only issue that she has is if an enemy can resist a lot of her more long-range projectile abilities.
No, she has long-range stun, long-range blight, and short-range bleed, and if they're in either-or position, you can shuffle them around with disorientating blast. And if all else fails, you can just buff somebody straight-up barbaric damage, and it lasts for the entire battle.
Wow. Yeah, like one of the ultimate support classes. Couple that with a Vestal, and actually, as a rule of thumb, that makes a lot of this pretty hard to stop.
Yeah, because she can cure diseases, too. Some people, I've talked with them, and they thought, oh, she's a doctor, she should be able to heal way more than that. But her healing is actually plentiful. It's just that you're seeing a fucking healer that's got all sorts of trinkets and quirks and shit that's helping her HP totals go way up. And you're focusing too hard on one aspect of the doctor. But hey, like, look at her camping skills. Like, her camping heals are really good. Heal somebody for 50% and increase the healing that they receive, so they get more health from eating food and everything. They get more health from everything.
Yeah, like, a lot of people don't seem to realize this, but the Plague Doctor... First of all, for the aesthetic of the time, Plague Doctors were as famous for causing as many problems as they solved with the methodologies of healing that they used. And that is very much showcased in the way that she's functioning here, because she's really good at healing people and keeping disease and poison and shit like that to a minimum with the stuff that she's got. But she does have a problem.
Shit.
She doesn't do direct healing very well unless it's at camp. Well, when you look at the Vestal and what healing clerics typically do in games like this, suddenly you understand why. It would not make sense to have two different characters with a colossal emphasis on direct healing. Which is why the occultist is kind of a jack of all trades in support, because he can heal, he can debuff, he can mark, he can cast hexes that can fuck with people, and a lot of his most powerful abilities, while somewhat of a gamble, are incredibly devastating.
Just like that critical hit.
Yes. Yeah, but the occultist is actually a really good unit. It's just the main problem with him, with his direct healing. His direct healing is very much a roll of the dice in how well it works. Whereas the Vestal's healing, while still kind of a roll of the dice, is more or less
it's guaranteed.
Kind of guaranteed. Yeah, it's more or less guaranteed on a decent level. Whereas the occultist, he can heal you for 1 point, or he could crit heal and heal you for like 30.
He could also heal you for 0 and cause you to bleed, and then die.
Yes, he can. And that's kind of the big problem with the occultist. He's a gambling unit. But he's a gambling unit with a lot of stuff in his favor, because a lot of what he does actually doesn't go against you too often. And typically when it doesn't go against you very hardcore. But it can screw you. Particularly if misused. but we're nearly out of this dungeon, and it's good because it's about time for me to head out. But I wanna stay here until at least we clear the dungeon.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Then one of my characters reaches 100 stress and it says inordinate exsanguination.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop that shovel in the other one for this bust.
Yeah. You're basically done. You've got one last room to go into, and you're done.
One last room and a bookcase.
Yes. But yeah, like there are options among your healers that are fine, and there's nothing wrong with that. And having a plague doctor that focuses on supporting you by plaguing your enemies and crippling them with bleed and blight, whilst keeping those status ailments off of you at the same time and stunning and shuffling the enemy around, I think the plague doctor's role is fine. And there's no real reason for her. There's no real reason for her to be super emphasized on direct healing when you have two different classes in the game that can do that really well already. And most of the semi-arcane units in the game can, and some of the non-arcane ones, have self-heals.
You don't have to have
They're minor.
Party for it to be great. It's just
no, you don't.
There's many parties that you just use food with.
Yes, and consumables to some degree to fix problems, but that's kind of what I'm trying to say. Actually, is like these parties do not require a lot of super strong healing to do really good stuff. In fact, if you guys have been watching a lot of these videos, you will notice, yes, healing is a factor. It's a big factor. But so is knowing how to deal the damage to your enemies that breaks them apart and causes them to really, really regret their life choices and stop dealing damage to you pretty much altogether. And let's note that I want to get out of the antiquarian. Jeez. There we go. Let's note that I want to get out about the antiquarian. The big problem with the antiquarian is getting them started.
Alistair, you already told them about it earlier.
Yeah, but once you do get them started, they actually are fairly useful in combat because they're really good at keeping themselves out of harm. The Crusader is really just such a fun unit. The big problem with the Leper that a lot of people have is his accuracy. And considering accuracy is literally his only fault, I can see why.
He has more. He can't attack the back row.
No, he can't. But couple him with like a bounty hunter or something to pull enemies into his reach that you want him to hit, and suddenly that's no longer an issue. In that case, it's literally all about just manhandling what you need to manhandle and knowing how to do it.
Never hidden.
The Grave Robber actually really surprised me with the abilities that she had. I really did not see a lot of that coming. Yeah, there's no reason to take that torch. That trinket I don't know about.
We didn't discover a secret room, but the very last room had use for this key, which is great.
Yep. And money and jade. And you're switching the jade out for the trinket?
Yep, because the trinket's worth 1,000.
Yep. Alrighty.
More bones return to
And that was a very, very long and hard-fought victory.
Yeah.
Man, you got a lot of heirlooms out of that. Got a good amount of money.
Threw away too much for me to be happy with that run. Prismatic isolation, yay. Debuff resistance.
Hey!
Dachnomania. Oh, by the way, these special quirks, like prismatic isolation and stuff, they're automatically locked. They don't get bumped out.
Oh, good.
Precise Striker.
Precise strike, good crit.
Necromania. Excited by corpses. Yay.
You may have to get rid of that. I don't know.
A ray of sunlight. A beacon of golden hope.
Frustrating is that particular quirk to work with.
It's annoying. They touch corpses and get fucking sick all the time. Because diseases. Alright, well, I'll just mouse over these things in the stage wagon really quickly.
Yep, we got a Jester, another Occultist.
Precise Striker on the Occultist. Night Owl, Stress Master, Lazy Eye, that's bad.
And a
Unholy
Grave
Slayer, that's
Robber.
great. Code Phobe. So, not a bad haul. The Jester is already level 1 though, so he's got all his skills at level 2. And he's got Musical. Unyielding. Fading. That's really bad. We have to remove that.
Yeah.
Alright, well,
He looks fun though. I like his design.
thank you everybody for watching, and have a good time for next time.
Yep.